So I've got this yellow fabric and it's really long. Lee said I needed 2 meters, so I bought 2 meters and it's taken up this whole room. The camera don't really do it justice, but it's a lot of a like creamier yellow in person. I think it's just like a cheap poly cotton. I didn't really want anything fancy because it's just for the skirt layer that's going to be in the middle. I'm making a circle skirt, so it's going to be folded long ways, like a long old rug. And now I have to fold it again this way, apparently. So it's all folded out and you gotta like mark out the corner. And I had to do like a bit of maths for this and I didn't understand it. So Lee did all the maths for me. And you just like mark off the corner by joining up all the dots once you've measured out your waist measurement. And this is gonna be my waisty bit. Ta-da. So I have a whole radius thing here. And I've drawn out the circle, so I just have to cut it into the skirt. This is the skirt layer. This is the fabric for the skirt layer that's like the whippy cream. The camera again like doesn't really pick the colour up right. It's more of like a really, it looks dusty on camera, but it's like a nice pastel-y pink in person. It's made of I can't remember. It's like, I'll pop it in the video and editing because I've forgotten the name of the fabric. But my friend recommended it to me, so I'm giving it a try. I bought another 2 meters and it's massive. But it's fine because I think I'm going to have to layer this skirt anyway and line it. I was flapping out the fabric and I knocked the pop pins on the floor. Ah! This doesn't look as 2 meters long as my other one did. Like, I'm sure the last one took up more of the room than this, but we ball, I guess. Here's my little pancake from the middle, so we know it's turned out fine. Yay! Blech. So this is how long the yellow skirt layer is. And Jesus Christ, look at how my hands look on this camera. That's disgusting. I don't want this skirt to be anywhere near that kind of length, obviously. So I'm going to trim it back maybe a couple inches to like, oh, that's horrible, get it away. Maybe like 14? Maybe 13. So this layer of the skirt has scalloped edges. I actually I pulled up Cure Whip's 3D model from the ending. She has exactly 8 little scallops on her skirt. So I figured it out that if I'm folding my circle skirt into 4 when I'm making it, then I just have to cut out 2 scallops. So this is kind of like boggled my mind a little bit. So I'm using the circle from the center. I'm going to draw out a practice version of the skirt first, which is really smart of me. So here's my little mini version. It's really messy because I decided to fold it up. It was folded into 4 the way I'd cut my circle skirt. And then I was like, oh, but instead of cutting out 2 bumps, I could fold it into 8. And then just try and cut 1 big bump so they're all completely the same. And this totally backfired on me because it was really difficult to cut. So I gave up and went back to just having it folded into 4. So it's a little bit scuffed in places where I was trying to cut it in 8. But do you see my vision? So it kind of looks like this now that I've drawn it out. I'm not totally sure how even these bumps are going to be, but I don't really care. Because it's pretty uneven in the anime anyway. Like, they're constantly changing how many bumps are on her skirt and like the length and stuff. So I don't particularly care if it's not 100% identical. The pencil is a bad look, I know, but it's going to look really cool when it's done. So it's all cut out. It's time for the unfoldy. Oh, wow, wow, wow. This is really exciting. Also, this is really difficult to do one-handed. Yeah, look at that. Look at it. Oh, it's so difficult to get it on camera. I'm going to have to unfold it on the floor so I can show off the whole circle. One sec. This is so nice to look at. I wasn't really sure how this would turn out, so I'm really pleased with it, actually. So I'm using this lining. I'm using this to make a lining. This is, I don't know what fabric it is. I bought it back in like 2016 when I was going to make a Love Life cosplay and I never did it. Apparently it doesn't matter what you use for lining, so this is going to be interesting. So I've kind of given up on the idea I had a while ago of making her little pocket pouch that her... this thing here, the little pouchy thing for her compact. I wanted to make it functional, but I'm just cutting out loads and loads of little cardboard circles, and I'm just going to build fabric around it, kind of like my Cure Summer one last year. So it'll be the right shape and it'll look okay, but it just won't have any function like last year. But I don't really think it matters. I think my main goal really is just to have the costume looking as accurate as possible. I've got a absolute ton of this yellow fabric left from when I made the skirt, so I'm gonna cut out all of these and stick them together to make one big thick circle, so my pouch at least has a little bit of volume to it. And then I'm going to cover it in the yellow fabric. I've got a ton of sparkly pink iron-on vinyl left from when I make Cure Summer, so I'm going to do the little pink bit. I'm silly, I printed out the picture in black and white, but the bit that's darker, the pink, it's going to be iron vinyled on. I actually happen to have this perfectly round little fella that I cut out my circle skirt, so I'm just going to make the pouch out of this, I think. So here is my pouch at the moment. It's being held together by sellotape and spite at the moment. I haven't bought my glue gun yet, I keep forgetting. But once this is firmly in place, I am going to iron on the vinyl and make it look actually like the pouch, which is really exciting. So I've got this silly England hat that was reduced like a quid because we lost the World Cup, and I've just cut the top off it like that. And this is going to be the cupcake on her head. Ooh, bye-bye. I thought it was stuffed. It felt like it had stuffing on the inside, so I had a real hard time cutting through it, but it's empty. So I've got loads of yellow fabric, so I can wrap this up in the yellow to make it her little yellow cupcake. I might get yellow foam for the base, because I'm not entirely sure about fabricking that bit. And then I've got these foam tubes that I'm going to try and make into the whipped cream, and please don't ask me how I'm going to make the strawberry because I don't know. This was absolutely painstaking, but I've hemmed it and there is like webbing interfacing stuff in them. It doesn't look very neat right now, but it doesn't really matter because I've got to scallop the edges after it's hemmed anyway, so I don't think you'll be able to see it very well. This is a strawberry. It's going to go on my little chest bow thing. I was looking for ages for one. I wanted like a little plush, but this one's actually like... Let me prop my phone up. So this one's like a... Whoa, it's a ring box. Oh, you strawberry me. So I'm going to hide some fun treats inside that. So like as of right now, this kind of resembles something wearable. It's in the right kind of shape that I'm going for, because I've got... I've got this huge hoop skirt under it, and then I've got like a petticoat layer on top of that hoop skirt, and then here's my yellow layer, and then so this like see-throughy layer and the pink layer are going to be stitched together to create one nice sheery whippy creamy layer. So all in all, it's not totally awful at the moment. My yellow layer, I probably mentioned, I made way too big. So let me look. It's like down to here on me. It's like double my waist size somehow. So I'm gonna probably cut this one down the middle and take it in a little bit more, because I could probably take it into like here. And then I'm going to try and work out where my strawberries are going today. I did the maths. I've got to do one in between each of these little boop boop sort of shapes. So I think I worked out I've got to make 8 of them. I've got 5 foot of heat transfer vinyl, and when I bought it I was like, wow, 5 foot, that's like crazy big. And in my head I guess I was kind of equating it out to like 5 meters, because after like some deliberation I was like, oh wait, I'm like just over 5 foot, so maybe this isn't as like horrifyingly a large amount as I expected. But I've got this nice fuchsia-y pinky colour. This is for the base of the strawberries. I actually need to get the glittery pale pink for the inner strawberry layer thing, you know? And then when it's all transferred on, I'm going to try and paint some glitter onto these because I really want sparkly strawberries. So that is my goal for today, is just to make this vaguely more wearable. And then I get to figure out the fun part, which is all of the toppy stuff. So I've cut like the scallopy waistband out. It's like kind of messy and uneven, but I don't think it'll really be unnoticeable once it's around my waist and sewn on and stuff. And it's meant to be cream anyway, so it's not going to be the most even. I'm just going to like interface these together with webbing. A bunch of pretty fabric arrived today. This light pink here is the Wigs bodice, and then the rest are actually all for my sister's Cure macaron. I'm in absolute awe of the size of these lads. These are like my Build-A-Bear My Little Ponies for reference. These ears are enormous. And they have the wire, so I can make them do the little Cure Whip flippy flop. Like that. Wow! So here's how my Wiggo is looking with the big old bunny ears on. They are units, I love them. I still need to cut the wig and glue in the wefts, but that's a problem for maybe another day. I went to my friend's house for a bit of help with Cure Whip last night, and she ended up giving me like near enough half unfinished cosplays, and now I've got Angel Mari to work with as well. This is for Cure Whip, but it's super pretty. I think I just really need to put the skirts all together and it's completed. That's also for Cure Whip. I'll probably do like a separate video going into Mari because it's a big old boy. So we put some darts in the Cure Whip pink skirt last night because it was a bit on the long side, so that kind of helps it hold its shape a bit more, but now it's kind of gone really big around the waist for some reason, and we've cut a little thing in it so I can pop a button in it. I'm not sure what to do in regards to that bit, but it's just something I will ignore for now. I'm going to attach the bunny tail somewhere around here to hide this. I also have trim, like I just showed you, so I can pew around this skirt later on. It'll be a nice hand sewing thing, I think. Today I want to tackle this stupid waistband. I made it look comically large, so I'm going to like fold it over like this a bit. Oop. Obviously I'm going to like pin it. I'm going to fold it over and then I'm going to sew through it, and that'll hopefully give it like a bit more thickness so it stands up nicely. So I'll stick that through the machine now and see how it goes. I cut the waistband sewn out the way I wanted to, but the threads all come out and I don't understand how to get it back in or what's happened around here. So I'm going to go cry for 10 minutes, I think. So I measured how much space I've got left showing on my yellow, and I've patterned out a strawberry. So I'm going to use this as a pattern. I'm going to cut out a ton of little strawberries for the skirt, and then I've just got to try and figure out how to get them on the skirt because it's kind of like ruffly now, so I need to figure out how I'm going to evenly space them. Here is a strawberry. I just have to do this like 7 more times. 8 shiny little strawberries all cut out. I don't know why I bought 5 foot of this stuff because it's like barely really even used 1 foot, I'd imagine. Yeah, it's super curly because it's been rolled up for God knows how long. So I'm going to try and find something to weigh them down and flatten them maybe overnight and see how they look tomorrow. I have to hand sew this whole entire thing. It's 3 meters of lace because I bought 2 meters and it didn't go the whole way around. So hopefully this time this will work. I thought this silver would be like extra sparkle, but I'm not really sure if I like how it looks now. But I'm like way too far into sewing it to just unpick it and start again. So I guess we will. So I did actually run out of lace. This was a horrible lapse in judgment. I've got like maybe, I want to say half a meter left that needs more lace. So I'm just gonna have to buy more and hope that it blends in, I guess. but it does look super nice on the side where the lace is all done. Look at that. Wow, look at catch the light. Whoa. So I'm attempting to hot glue these wig wefts. This is going to be interesting. So I'm making the wefts, but I'm losing like a lot of hair from them. And I don't know if it's I'm making them too thick or like the cut's uneven and all the bits that aren't glued up at the top just keep slipping out. So I'm going to try thinner wefts and try and keep them more even and put longer bits of glue down them and see if that gets me anywhere. So none of these really want to work, and I'm scared that my wig is going to kind of like fall apart, because if you brush your fingers through the weft, like half the hair comes out. So I'm thinking I just give up on the weft idea and just try and backcomb these pigtails and make them real thick. So I'm going to try and figure out how to get the strawberries around the skirt evenly. I did like kind of maths when I was designing this cosplay, and so what I worked out from looking at Cure Whip's design is that the strawberries peek out between these little gaps in the top skirt layer. So in theory, I just kind of have to work out where each layer will fall and put the strawberry there. This was like really straightforward until I gathered in the waistband, because obviously that's led to the fabric crinkling and it doesn't sit in a perfect flat circle anymore. So I probably should have done this before taking in the waist. But it's probably fine. I can probably just like sprinkle around the fabric and work section by section. My lovely little strawberries are all ironed on. So this one here is God's biggest, horriblest mistake. It's horrible. I've got ink here. This went all crinkly, so I think I didn't let it cool. I couldn't find my paper that I meant to use, my baking paper. So I got my plan paper and I was like, oh yeah, I can just iron with this, and then all the ink transferred over. So I've got this whooping black ink stain there. So this is going to be the very back one, because this is awful. The rest of them turned out like okay. This one's like wrinkly because I didn't let it cool. So I'm going to let the others cool before I take off the sealy layer. So this is like kind of starting to resemble Cure Whip. My main problem is obviously the skirt physics. It's not like puffing out like Cure Whips would in this show, because I've only got like this much hoop to work with. Whereas like it should be puffed out to like here realistically. But I've just got this much to work with, and this layer is really annoying me. It needs to be taken up a bit, and it needs to be overlocked, and I don't really know what I'm doing with the waist because I got it open and now I don't know how to do it back up again. But it's fine, I can probably figure it out. Wow. I need to order another lot of iron-on vinyl. That's going to be really fun to do the pink inner strawberry layers, but I'm kind of feeling like this is kind of solid. I need to do the top. I've been kind of putting that off because it frightens me. And I can sew a little bunny tail back here finally. This is super unflattering, but I'm currently in the middle of styling the wig. She has like the little curly bits at the end of her hair, so I'm trying to roll this up and clip it in and then spray it into place. I cut these a little too short. I kind of like misjudged when I was cutting it, I guess. But I'm gonna try and make it work anyway, because I am a perfectionist and I'll get these rolls in if it kills me. It stinks of hairspray in here, and I'm not really sure about the little floop bit. I don't really understand how people like backcomb the wig and then brush out again and it's all nice. So I'm just going to spray the hell out of mine and see what happens. The boots are here. They're not perfect white, they're actually cream. The picture was kind of like misleading. But they were like £8 second hand and they haven't actually been worn before, so that's probably the best I'm going to get. Look. They're like kind of tight around my big toe, but they're going to have to do, because I really struggled to find boots. So this is the lining for part of my Cure Whip bodice. It's made out of like a real firm hardy kind of material so that it gives it kind of like structure. I can't remember what it's called, but my friend like kind of just helped me just whip it out basically. So I've got to cut out the Cure Whip shirt patterns like in the same sort of shapes, and then this is used as the lining. And behind me I've got the Cure macaron fabric. I'm going to use the pattern that we've drawn up and cut all that out today. I'm feeling like super motivated because I watched Pixie's Cure Sky video, and it's motivated me to get through this pile of rubbish basically. I'm watching the pre-cure while I make the pre-cure. So we have the pattern all cut out. I'm going to use the white crop top over this and kind of adjust it into Yukari's little white parts. Hopefully I've got plenty to make the whole shirt because I'm a little worried about the little swaggy bits on the side, but we'll see. So this is like a rough pattern for Cure Whip's choker because I just realised I don't actually have it. I've got like a tiny bit of sparkly fabric left from Yukari's skirt, so I'm just going to use that because it's only got a little piece. I'm doing a bit of trial and error. This doesn't look like it's going to turn out great, but I've got tons more to work with if it doesn't turn out right. This is supposed to be the little compacty, pouchy thing. So I've just covered it in fabric glue, and I'm just going to let it dry and set and see how it turns out. If it looks okay, then I can put the little pink swirly bits and all on it. But if not, I'll just find a different way of making them, because I've got tons more of these cardboard backing things that I've made. And I've got tons and tons of yellow, so yippee!
Exactly, and you'd have to go back for the second audition, obviously, but it just cuts that huge cost out for that first audition, which I know a lot of families are feeling the pinch right now.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, definitely, and good for them, yeah.
So today I've made the choker. It's got fabric glue on the edges to stop it from fraying because it's cheaper than fray stop. These are the bases for my little pouches. And these are the gloves. They arrived in the post today. I just got like little thin ones because they're meant to be like light pink, and I can't really get light pink ones, so like the kind of see-throughness makes my skin colour make them look pinker. And they've got little pom-poms on because I just sewed them on. See, super girly pop. Also, I cut the boots kind of more into Cure Whip shape. They're not going to be like super low and cannon-ish, but it's better than having them proper knee-high. I have a little splodge of the pink that I'm going to be using. I think the colour's perfect, but I need to check that it's actually going to work before I start painting.
So you're in as many.
So I'm messing around with the hot glue again. This is going to be my little cupcake hat. I'm going to have to like sew these parts in to keep the shape because it's like kind of a little bit too much foam. But I'm going to do layers and make it a little swirly cuppy cake. My cake doesn't look the neatest right now. It's like a lot of layers of the sponge and it's like hot glued to hell. And I kind of like shaped it into a strawberry at the top. And I have to put some stitches in to keep the fabric in place. And I know the little trimmy plate thing isn't red in the Canon design, but this is kind of like to compensate for me not having a red headband, and I don't have any yellow fabric that's like a different shade of yellow to cover this up, so I'm just going to improvise with that. I had to cut it out of the headband and there was a huge hole in the bottom, so I've just kind of glued it over with some foam. So when I paint this, it will hopefully look a lot nicer. I'm going to try and get some glitter on there. It will look super cute, and then I'm going to glue on a clip and it will clip nicely into my wig, hopefully. And in like less exciting news, I have sewn the poppers onto my Cure Whip choker. So it will just pop on and off like pew pew pew. I have this pretty pink, pale, sparkly vinyl to go over my dark one to make the insides of my strawberries. Because I think having a glittery inside will be a really fun contrast, and I really like putting glitter on my cosplay. So I'm going to like trace out a shape and make like kind of a pattern, and hopefully I've got like 4 sheets, so hopefully that's enough. And if I have any left over, I want to make the pink bit on the pouches sparkly because sparkles. So the strawberry is going to look kind of like that when it's done. I really like how that looks. So this pink stuff, the glittery vinyl, actually peels off like instantly, and the plasticky bit, I mean, not the actual vinyl, but I really struggled with the matte and I couldn't get it off for days, and it made my finger all scrumply and I got the dirty burns, but we'll ignore that. So basically what I've learned from this is that glitter vinyl is so much better than like the matte stuff. I had tons of hot pink vinyl left over from Kia Summer, so I'm making little itty bitty hearts that are going to go on the pouches like that. Look how shiny and cute. Yeah, woo, it looks like Cure Whip. So the thing with Cure Whip's little bow on her skirt that her pouch thing goes in the middle of, it's like, like when you look at the design, it kind of like sticks out funny at the side of the, so like it physically isn't really possible. And I've tried it already with the Cure Macaron one, just straight up making a bow and sticking the pouch in the middle, but it doesn't really look kind of the way I want it to, because the pouches are quite big. So I'm going to try just making two little bow pieces, whatever they're called, and I'm just going to stick the pouch like in between them, and I'm going to adjust them to where I want it. It sounds ridiculous, but instead of making like a full-on bow here like I did with Macaron and spending like hours on it, I'm just going to see if this works. So I'm stitching this bow part thing directly onto the back of my sweet pack thing. So when I sew it down to the dress, I can just sew the bow into shape, and I don't have to worry about the weird little bumpy bit in the middle, and I can add these little like red trimmy bits that are around the bottom too. I have my big old bunny tail sewn onto the skirt. So I'm hand stitching with the pink onto the base shirt because I don't trust myself to sewing machine it on. So it's got these lovely little hand stitches. That looks a bit messy. That'll probably be fine when it's on, or if I flatten it down more or something. I'm gonna have to tidy up all this fraying, but hopefully, yeah, I've kind of pinned it. It's not as wide as I thought it was gonna be, but we're balling with the shirt because I just kind of want this done at this point. So I've done like half of it with the white, and I've just found this, and it's literally an identical match to my fabric. Oh, so I forgot to vlog while I actually had the entire costume on a minute ago, but this rocks. I've hand sewn all of it. I've got to add the puffy sleeves. These need to be taken in a tiny bit because they slip down when I'm wearing them. I've got to reinforce this bit because when I'm wearing it, it kind of just flops over like that because it's literally just like a bit of material. I've got that reinforcer stuff. So this is literally my waistline here. I've got to add the other strip of fabric through the middle and add the buttons on. But all of this down here you actually can't see. But I really like having this little elasticy, stretchy bit at the top, just loose, because it covers my, like, down, all the way down to like my butt. And it's kind of snug, and it keeps everything in place. So I don't think I'm going to really do anything with this. The extra layer of pew pew, whatever it is going to make my little whippy cream belt stay on better, because it's still a little bit on the loose side. So literally I've got to add sleeves, I've got to add the bow, I've got to add the weird strip in the middle and the two buttons, and then Cure Whip is finished. I can't believe I've actually gotten to this point. And then literally all that's left to do after I finish this top, and then the whole costume is done. I said I was gonna take in this choker because it's way too big for me. But that's literally a matter of like pulling a stitch through maybe like two of them and just folding it over to make it a bit smaller. Then I've got to tackle the boots. Oh my god. My little sister drew on them with like one of those paint pens. It's actually like weirdly firm. It doesn't come off. So I'm just going to try my luck with painting the shoes when we get a hot day, because it's been raining for like weeks here in good old sunny Cornwall. But this is really insane. I'm kind of just processing the fact that I've nearly finished this whole costume on my own. I'm waiting for sparkly fabric for the bow to turn up, because I asked on Instagram, hey, do I be normal or do I go for extra sparkle? And everyone said extra sparkle, and I'm kind of worried because it's super bright pink and the rest of the costume is quite pastel-y. So it's either going to look awesome or it's going to look horrible. I cut some big old rectangles because apparently sleeves are just rectangles, so we're about to find out. So like the frosting on Cure Whip's cupcake is this really, really pale pink, like it's like an off-white, just pink. So I've mixed up so much white with like a little drip of red, and it's looking a bit messy at the minute, but hopefully after a couple of layers this will look okay. I chucked body glitter in with the paint stupidly. I forgot that the paint would just cover it, so I'm going to sprinkle that on the top layer. So it's Sunday today and the con is on Saturday, so I have like less than a week. And I did not realise how much I have left to do on this. I'm currently hand sewing this nice shiny fabric over this because it looks really bad. And I haven't even finished like sewing down the sides of the shirt or anything, and I've got to make the bow and I've got to do like gluing and stuff. I'm just gonna work like mad today. This bad boy is gonna be a sleeve. I did not think about how long it's gonna take to hand sew it up because I'm using like I don't know what the stitch is called, but it's over and under. It's not a running stitch. I have 2 sleeves. They are sewn. I just need to gather them and stick them on, I guess. I'm kind of like working in ADHD order here. I sewed on like 1 sleeve and it's not finished because I need to gather it and add the frills. And then I was like, oh yeah, I should probably glue on my my bow and my strawberry. So I had like a load of hot glue and a dream, and it kind of worked. Like, I don't flop or anything. And look how sparkly that is. That's what the kids call bougie. This is how the back looks right now. I have a lot of figuring out to do on this part. Yeah. The cupcake is something I'm going to have to tackle because it's like, I thought it makes sense to clip it on so it's slanted down, but maybe not. I'm going to have to hold it in place with like a load of safety pins and something, I guess. We have a sleeve. I figured out how to gather and put in elastic and stuff, which is super poggers. I've just got to kind of try and straighten up the frumples. So the shoulders on this are like a freaking nightmare. I don't know what I'm going to do to get these to stay up. One sleeve is okay, and the other, I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know if it's because it's so tight I can't get up and down, and it's just not working. So I'm gonna have to look into it. But look, this is it right now.